determination from Ruben Wood.
Big right hand lands from Robbie Balza.
Coming now from Coach's right. Nostril and knockdown number 2. That was clean on the way.
Diving good left hand from Balza. That turns straight round.
Wallace after the flurry circling out.
Big right hand knockdown number 4. That is the fight, and that is the win for Dan Penning.
What's up? How are you? We're back live from Satellite 5. Oh my gosh, this sounds amazing. We're going to talk about everything today. We have big announcements coming. It's all here for you. We're just happy to be back after a week off. As you can see, I competed in the Wiener eating contest. We'll talk about that a little later too. Chris Lights Out Lidle, our buddy. We're going to check in with him. He's going to stop by. There he is with his nice clean cock. He'll be with a Lidle look ahead to BKFC Fight Night Pachanga. And as always, much more with Chris. We'll get to know him like we do every week a little more. And then we're going to clean up a main event announcement from our show 2 weeks ago because we weren't on last week. We're going to re-announce that with the proper main event since we were apparently given the wrong one. I don't know what happened. I don't know what's going on around here. Also, this is huge. A new main event announcement for an upcoming show that's definitely going to get the bare knuckle community buzzing. This is going to be great. I'm excited. I don't know if I can hold off on the announcement. I'm so excited about it. As I always tell you, a lot going on here, especially after 4th of July week. I want to check in with the boys over there in the booth. What did you guys do in the off week? I was on vacation with my family in the mountains somewhere where nobody could get a hold of me. What did you do, Evan?
I was at the Feldman annual 4th of July celebration.
I never get to go. What do they do? Serve you caviar there? What do they serve?
Somebody's calling
Lobster?
me. I don't know who's calling me right now. Should we take it live?
Is it? Yes. Yeah,
no, it's probably like, you owe us a bill. Who knows?
No, seriously. I mean, what do they serve there? Lobster and caviar, I would assume?
Yes, all the finest, yeah.
I've been invited that every year, and I'm always on vacation with my family that week. I can never go. And this year, at least, I got back. I'm not a good texter right away. And last year, I think I got back to poor Dave's wife probably like a month after the party. So I did get back this time. Did you have fun at least? Was it good? I'm sure it was. They have a pool.
We had a great time. We had a blast. Me and Kate went. It was 9,000 degrees outside.
Let's say she's with child. Is she okay?
She is with child. She was very hot, but she's always very hot.
I knew you were going to say that. I'm glad you did.
It was good. We had a good time.
All right, good. I'm glad you did. Before we talk to Brandon, see what we did. I just want to shout out the early risers, I call them. They're here with us early before the show even starts. Rick, Gator, Little Ben, Andrew Toppin, Swervo Cuts, Ambidextrous, Quailman, Scott, Knuckle Colt, Anthony. That's the crazy kid from the airport that we think's funny. And who else? Sam's on here. Tylen. Everybody, man. If I missed you, I'm sorry. Bare Knuckle Tony's on here. It's packed. Kyle Mish is on here. We love talking to you. I want to check in with Broken Brandon, who's been very good. I should call him Brandon the Maid or Brandon the Cleaner. That could be Brandon the Cleaner, I'll call you. Dude, you really made this studio. You can't see it, but you really cleaned it up and made it look wonderful. So I know you were in here last Tuesday because you worked so hard, right?
Yeah, I came in last Tuesday, used the off day as an opportunity to kind of just button some things up. A lot of stuff that none of the viewers can see, but just cable management and all kinds of
you were managing
little
your cable?
stuff, just make it look nicer, cleaner, got rid of stuff we weren't using. And
yeah, it looks great in here. They can't see it, but it does look great. I appreciate you doing that. Managing cables on your day off while we're here. Well, we're not here. Also, I want to talk about, I don't know if I talked about at the beginning of the show, you can see the graphic. I did participate in a Wiener eating contest over the break. Not the Nathan's one, not the big one. That would have gotten crushed in that. Those people are amazing how they eat like that. So we got thinking, we were talking here. I was at the Wiener eating contest, and everybody there kept asking me. They're like, where's Evan? Evan would be great at the Wiener eating contest. Have you ever participated in one, Evan?
No, I have not.
No.
Taco eating contest.
Oh, I see what you did there.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Tacos are just easier to eat. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Wieners can be a mouthful.
What's up? Did we get the Wiener post with the Hawk Tua, which I think the Hawk Tua craze, that's done by now. We had that 2 weeks
I'm
ago.
over that.
Yeah, everyone's over that. That's old news. But with the Wiener eating contest, we were thinking before the show, if a bare knuckle fighter, somebody from, it could be anybody from the organization, doesn't have to be a fighter, was in a wiener eating contest, who would you pick? Share it in the chat. Who would win in a wiener eating contest? You can let us know in the chat. We'd love to see that. Also, I want to talk about what we have coming up. It's Fight Week. I was so out of it because I haven't been on a show in 2 weeks that I didn't announce it. Yeah, Fight Week. I'm pumped up. You know that. We all are. We're going to California, Pachanga. It's going to be awesome. I'm looking forward to it for a lot of reasons. Ruben War on top against Robbie Peralta. We had Ruben on a couple weeks ago. Ruben is driven. He just wants to provide for his family. He's trying to get out of where he is. And a man driven is a man that's dangerous. So Robbie Peralta, he might have some problems on his hands. We'll see what happens, but I'm looking forward to that. Evan, Brandon, I'll go to you guys. What are you thinking about the fight coming up this week? I'm excited.
Yeah, it's you got a lot of debuters. I think you get a chance to really make a name for yourself. Here we go. Let's see. Who's like a lot of these guys I don't recognize, honestly.
Yeah, we got some stars in the making here. We see them kind of rise up in this kind of fight. I get excited about this stuff.
I mean, I think Ruben War has a chance to really make a name for himself if he's able to beat Peralta. Peralta's been here a while. He's got some good wins under his belt. His only loss is to Bryce Henry. And same thing with Peralta. He's got a way to kind of cement his place in in his division with a win over Ruben.
Yeah, I know. There's a lot to it. Like I said, I'm you love the experienced fighters, but I like seeing these kind of cards too because this is where we find the diamonds in the rough. This is where we find the new stars, and we've said that time and time again. So it's going to be good. We're looking forward to it. We'll talk more about that in a little while. Like I said, I just know Ruben War's focused from talking to him a couple weeks ago in here, and he's ready to go. The guy had gunshot holes in his car. Tell me he doesn't want to change his life a little bit. He wants to get out of there. He wants to make it better for his kids. So let's see what he does. He's been training, he said, harder than he ever has. There it actually scared me for a second. All right, let's get into the mail. Ooh, sorry. You had the gunshot sound effect.
It's time for mail call.
There we go. You have something to send it in, you can hit us at thebareknuckleshow@gmail.com. If you're listening, I'll say it again, not watching. It's thebareknuckleshow@gmail.com. And if you can't spell it, you're an idiot. I can't help you. I'm sorry. thebareknuckleshow@gmail.com. Send your stuff in. Bare Knuckle Show regular, KCMS. I never know if it's records or records. He sent us an email. Apparently, I'm just cleaning some stuff up since we missed a week. He was at our show in Hollywood. He did some fishing. I don't know anything about fishing, but this blows my mind. He caught a 10-foot, he sent this in, 450-pound bull shark. Look at these pictures of him trying to, I mean, look at the teeth on that thing. So apparently he had it shipped home because I hear that shark meat is very tasty. I don't know if I've ever eaten it. But he had it shipped home. I'd have that stuff mounted. It's pretty cool. Look at those teeth. Well, congratulations to him. Do you guys fish? Do you ever fish?
Not in a while.
I haven't fished in a long time. Brandon, what about you?
Man, the last time I fished was probably 3 years ago.
Yeah, it's been a while.
People love it. I don't really get the allure of it, honestly. It's pretty boring.
I think it's a relaxing thing for some people. And I know that, like, for instance, I know that as far as our roster goes, and share this in the chat as well, but I was thinking, like, I think Connor Tierney's a fisherman. I know Joe Elmore is. Reggie Barnett and his dad used to always fish when they'd come to events. I can't think of any other fighters, but, I don't know. Not a fisherman, not into it. I mean, I've done it. I'd do it again, but I haven't done it. I couldn't. That shark probably took forever to reel in, I'm sure. Let's see what else. Oh, Fighting Yo. They've been coming. They sent this picture from BKFC 62 in Hollywood. I think it's on their Instagram. There it is. This is a Hollywood Hard Rock employee punching me in the face. There's Carlos, who's a big fan of the show. He's an employee there. I don't know her name, but she wanted to hit me while I was out in the crowd acting like a lunatic.
There's a video in there, too. What's
you can
that?
show the video. I think it's me just yelling to the crowd. It's very wide. It makes me look wide. It's very...
Oh, my God.
Look at that derriere. Look at that derriere. I weigh 600 pounds.
Look at that wedgie.
I know. Look at it. Oh, so nice. Look at that, baby.
Oh, God.
And I'm just going nuts in the crowd. I think I punched the camera or something. I don't remember. Look at it. Look at my face. I look like a moon. There you go. Fighting Yo on the scene. Telling me they love how I interact with the crowd. They love it. They love it all. I appreciate you guys. Thanks for sending that in. Randy in Fort Lauderdale. He sent some info, and he wanted to keep us updated on what some of the BKFC women. We've heard from Randy before. I think I remember this guy. He's the perverse dude that always sends the women pictures in. Here's what they were doing over the 4th of July weekend. There's some Britton Hart photos. There you go. Britton showing off her stars and stripes. Britton Hart, who's going to be... I pledge allegiance to the flag, right? Who's going to be, of course, main eventing coming in Sturgis against Taylor Starling, a fight a lot of people looking forward to. It's going to be a record-breaking event for us. We're looking forward to that as well. Also, the Rugged Beauty. She was celebrating 4th of July. There she is, always at the gym. Look at her with the flag in the background. She's got the red hair. She's there, the Rugged Beauty, Crystal Pittman. That's what she did. Oh, whoa. Okay. I didn't know that one was coming. But there you go. The American flag and a beautiful, voluptuous derriere, much like mine looked in that last clip we showed. I saw something. I don't know about. I've literally never been on OnlyFans, but I saw something on these pictures. I guess I don't know if it's free or something. Or some of these girls have free subscriptions to OnlyFans. You can. I don't know how it works. Maybe you do. Do you know? I really don't. I'm not even trying to be funny.
What are you promoting her OnlyFans?
No, I'm just letting you know the girls have OnlyFans. I saw a free. I think all of them are saying that.
Go check the link in their bios.
Evan, have you ever clicked the link in their bios?
No, never.
I understand. We're
Very
professionals.
unprofessional.
We're very professional.
I would never do that.
No, I know you would.
Absolutely not.
All right, so let's see what else we have here. Thank you for the pictures, Randy. You perverse man, you. A couple people sent this in, actually. I had about 3 or 4 people send this in. Bleacher Report. We know Bleacher Report did an article on Ryan Garcia's boxing suspension. They were talking about him fighting in other places outside boxing. And one of the ideas they came up with, and this is cool because it shows we're in the mainstream, Kai Stewart. And you can read it on screen there. And you know you're saying it what they said. If you're listening, I'll kind of read it quickly for you. They're saying the only featherweight champion BKFC has ever known, Kai Stewart. He's a rising star. They're saying he's 24 years old. He's undefeated. He's known for producing fireworks each time he competes. And, you know, surely he would win some fans over if he got the chance to share the ring with Garcia. I agree with that. And whether it happens or not, it doesn't matter. I think it's cool that we're in the conversation, that Kai Stewart's in the conversation. I think that says a lot about the growth of our organization. I think it's really cool about that. I wanted to spotlight. Thank you for sending it in. There was too many to even mention. Speaking of Kai, Omar, he's in the chat right now, a.k.a. Swervo Cut, sent this in, and he said, this is the only man that could possibly beat Kai Stewart. Let's see what he sent in.
Yo, what's up with you? What's up, what's up?
What the hell is this?
What's up with you?
All right, I see what it is. Yeah, wow, okay, yeah. That, you know, the guy that used to be on the podcast with me like a couple of years back, Rob. I feel like Rob could remake that video and it'd be really funny with the beard and all that. That's something Rob would do. Thank you for sending that in, Omar, Swervo Cuts. We appreciate it. We know that you're giving out free cuts too in Florida. Thank you for that. Matthew, now we love these videos. The punching machine. I feel like every week people send them in. This is Matthew from Yonkers, New York. He sent this punching compilation in. Oh, damn, he broke the glass.
Because
Yo, she clocked. Oh my God. She wearing heels too? We saw the McGregor one. I just want to rewatch the first one again. Hold on. Shattering the glass. That might be one of my favorites. That's pretty good too. All right, there we go. Thank you for the punching bag video. And speaking of punching bag videos, that's not the only one that came in. Little Ben, who's often in the chat, Little Ben sent this punching bag video in of Tito Ortiz, who was recently at one of our events. Wow. Little Ben saying that in his caption here, Tito has a future in bare knuckle. That's what Little Ben thinks. I guess because he was at the show in Hollywood we recently did, BKFC 62. In speaking with Tito, I'm not saying he would come and do bare knuckle, but I'm saying as far as a fan of the product, I was kind of chatting with him a little bit, and he was talking about how much he enjoyed the show. And I think Chris Lidle's pretty good friends with him. He'll be on in a little while. We asked Lidle what Tito thought about our show. Another thing I want to talk about, I meant to bring it with me. I'm going to bring it next week. I think it's really cool. He sent it to me in the mail. James Lights Out Lily, the Warrior Poet. He's got a book published, all his poems. It's called The Warrior Poet. It's really cool. He signed it. He sent it to me. I appreciate it. Big fan of his works. Maybe we'll read a poem or have him read a poem or something next week. But if you want to buy it or whatever, you can talk to James Lilly, find him on social media. I didn't memorize any of the poems, but the reason I forgot it is because I was actually reading it, paging through it. I left it on my table at home. It's really, really good. So we'll talk about that more next week. Congratulations to him and being published. Also, another thing that was sent in. Jamie. Jamie sent this in and said, horrible fall, amazing sense of humor. Let's check this out. Oh!
I don't know. I said I've never looked so good in my life.
Oh, missed it too.
My God.
I mean, watch this again.
I don't know. I said I've never looked
And she's missing that tooth,
so
dude.
good in my life.
Oh. Hey, man. Hey, look. That was, dude. I mean, look, there's nothing you can do but make a viral video and laugh about it right at that point. I mean,
What do? They give you a fake tooth to fill that in?
Yeah, I'm sure.
yeah, they probably put one up there, man. Tooth, or you could do the gold tooth. I'd get the gold piece in there. You know what I mean? Make it look cool, like you're with it. Let's see what else we have here. Okay, this is sent in by a lot of people, and I want to address this. Yoel Romero rumors. Is he coming to Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship? I'm going to be honest with you. I know that he's been to many of our events. I think at least one or two of them. There's him with Dave, matter of fact. But I don't know if he's coming or not. I don't know much about it. I've seen it online. I've been on vacation for a week, so I didn't hear much around the office. Evan, you were here. You're hanging out at the party that I couldn't go to because I was on vacation. Was there any bare knuckle talk at the party around the pool about Yoel or anything like that?
Well, we do have some secret inner circle talks all the time. As far as Yoel, I mean, he certainly looks the part still. I mean, he was part of that Cuban super athlete program. There's all that. He's got all kinds of crazy shit. His neck is 3 times the size of another human's.
Yeah,
he's just
he's big when we saw him.
He's built to just take hits. I mean, and he looks like a 30-year-old still.
Yeah.
So I think he would be a really fun fight. I don't know if how active he would want to be or
Probably
whatever.
a one-off.
But
It's got to be a one-off, right?
I don't even know if it'd be a one-off, but just to come in and have a couple fun fights that get eyeballs, I think would be good. Whether or not when it's happening, I don't know. I think Yoel himself was putting stuff out.
Yeah, he puts stuff out. So it's either he's trying to get us to talk to him or we're really talking to him.
Yeah.
We're going to dig into that more after the show. I'm going to try to go down to Dave's office and attack him and find out more because I haven't really seen him much today. All right, this is something else that's going on great as we wait for Chris Lidle here in a moment. Josh Burns, the Hammer, he's back. He's taking on Sam Shoemaker, the Hillbilly Hammer. And, when Josh is involved in a fight, it's been a while here. That'll be in Sturgis. Looking forward to it. But Josh likes to make memes and stuff. Here's something. Look at the faces on this next video we're going to play.
A credo, no regrets. Mm-hmm. You have no regrets?
Dad?
No.
Not even a single letter?
No way. Not me.
Well, I love him. I think he's great.
Okay.
I think he's a real winner.
A credo, no
I thought that was impressive that he came up with that with the face like that. Before we get to Chris Lidle in a second, I want to check out the other meme that Burns put out there. This is showing you what's going to happen to Sam at the fight. We can expect a lot more memes and funny videos to come out between Josh and Sam, I'm sure, and we'll keep checking them out throughout the week. Maybe they'll send us some exclusives we can play on the show. I'll talk to them about that. We're almost to Chris Lidle, but I want to talk about 2 more things quickly. There's a guy named Jesse Pringle. Evan, Jesse Pringle. Do you remember that name?
Yeah.
He came in Kansas, I think, one of our early shows.
Yeah. It might have been Kansas. Somewhere I met him.
I think it was Kansas.
Early BKFC days, yeah.
Yeah, because he sung the national anthem for us before. He's a singer. I think he might be a songwriter. He could be an actor, too. He's got a lot going on. But I remember he took a bus. He had a real hard time getting there, but he wanted to get there to show how much he loves bare knuckle. He's been to a couple fights. He enjoys what we do. He actually sent me something a week or 2 ago, training with Joey Beltran and stuff. And I didn't know why he sent it to me. But then I realized, he's fighting. So I knew he was a fighter, too, but he's fighting on a show coming up, I believe in Kansas City. Jesse Pringle will be up there fighting, and we're looking forward to seeing what he can do in action. There he is, Jesse Pringle, a guy that's been around the company for a while, shows up at certain shows. Now we're going to see him in the squared circle, cruiserweight bout, see what he has to offer, man. That's going to be BKFC Fight Night Kansas City. And the last thing before we get to Chris Lights Out Lidle, I was asked on Instagram if I was familiar with something called Clay's Conversations. Yeah, I'm extremely familiar. I know what it is. It's the guy that writes those listen to me, there's nice little I don't know what they are. He doesn't really do interviews, but he interviews in text and puts them online. I think we have a link we can show. I don't know if we put it up as Chris is waiting, but he just did one I saw with Ruben Ward that was good. So Clay's Conversations, I saw it on Facebook. You can check that out. Thank you for supporting our product. We always appreciate that. As we look over to Chris Lights Out Lidle, he's back yet again. We love talking to him. We can't wait to talk to him. Here he is, Chris Lights out, Lidle. There he is. Look at him. You're looking good, man. How are you?
What's happening, Brian? Here's my question. I sent him pictures of me, at 4th of July on my sexy poses. You guys didn't show them. I mean, I'm trying to up my OnlyFans stuff too. You know what I mean? You feel me? How am I supposed to get my OnlyFans up?
Well,
if you ain't posting my pictures.
I saw the pictures. I saw the pictures. You had sent them to Brandon in a personal message. It's very strange. And after looking at your pictures, I don't feel you, nor would I ever want to feel you. Even before I looked at your pictures, so it's okay. You're good. Next time.
Fine. All right.
Let's ask the chat. Do you want to see Chris Lidle? Oh, wait. I'm asking the chat if they want to see Chris Lidle's OnlyFans pictures. I think it'd be interesting to see what they say. Anyway, here it is. Little Ben saying that Jesse Pringle sung at BKFC 17 or 19. I don't remember which one it was, but I know he did. All right. So Chris Lidle here. We're waiting for those comments to come in. Always good to catch up with you. It's been a couple weeks because we had off last week, but now here we are yet again, headed into fight week, man. We're going to California, Pachanga. A lot of people say Pachanga. It's Pachanga. I believe it's in Temecula. Excited to go back to California. Our second time there, and we found out last time what a fight town it was. So let's see what Temecula's like. Let's see what Pachanga's like. What are you thinking heading into this? You've probably been to California more than I have.
Well, I've been to Pachanga, as a matter of fact. I went and watched a boxing match there. A great crowd. It's a great place to put on a fight. I think it's going to be packed. It's going to be rocking. They're going to be into the sport. So, man, when we were in LA, I couldn't believe it went over really well. I was a little scared because the Lakers were playing in like game 4 of the playoffs or something crazy right next door. Legitimately, you could have thrown a baseball and hit their stadium, but we were still packed. So yeah. I think it's going to be a good turnout. It's going to be some good fights.
Yeah, healthy appetite for that in California, and I'm looking forward to it too. And I was talking about it before you got on. I mean, and I'd be curious to find out how you feel about this, because your opinion, the weight on it's way bigger than my opinion or anybody here. I mean, you've very respected in fighting. You look at this card, and the fight that I'm interested in just off the top is the main event, because we had Ruben War on. This guy's driven. He wants to make a name for himself, and he wants that to be at the expense of Peralta. And I feel like sometimes when a man is driven, for certain reasons he is, getting out of his community to a better community for his family, that's when you're most dangerous. I'm excited to see what Ruben War is going to do and how Robbie Peralta is going to handle him, if he can handle him. We'll see. But what do you think about that fight first?
Well, you know what's tough is when people are trying to make it to the top, they're trying to make it up, let's say like to the UFC level, that drive is there to try and change their life or do whatever. But just that goal, it's different when you've already made it there. So now you have to try and maintain. Everybody says it's easier to get to the UFC than it is to stay in the UFC. Peralta's been to that level. You know what I mean? So he's on that different trajectory now. You have Ruben War is trying to, not that he's in the UFC, this is bare knuckle. He's trying to beat a guy who was there. He's trying to beat the guy who made it to the top. Ruben War still doesn't feel like he's made it there. Even though he's here, he hasn't made it to the top yet. He's really wanting, he's hungry, he wants to do that. So that's a whole different mindset going in there of trying to get there or trying to maintain that level. So let's see how Peralta is able to handle this. We know Ruben War's coming in. We know what he's going to bring. To be honest with you, I felt horrible for him for his last fight in California. I thought he looked fantastic.
Yeah, no, I agree 100% with you. And the other thing we have to look at with this fight is trying to get their way into the top 5. I mean, that's the goal of pretty much everyone here. It should be. And this could really have some implications on that. I'm looking forward to it. Like Evan and I were talking about this before you came on too. The whole card. I mean, look at the card. Some people would say, well, I don't know many people in here. Maybe this is one to miss. I don't agree with that, because I feel that with bare knuckle fighting, new stars can emerge at any second. And it excites me to see newer fighters, some debuting, some have fought for us before, but it excites me to see all these newer fighters coming in because they're all hungry. They're all trying to make it. They're all trying to make a name for themselves. And you can see superstars start, not right away, but at the beginning of a superstar start to emerge in a card like this. I mean, that's fair to say, right?
100%. And a lot of these guys came from the tryout. So I've seen some of these guys. I know what they have. That's one of the reasons I wanted some of these guys on the card. We've talked about it. We've went through the process of evaluating these guys. This is who I want on here. So talked with Nate quite a bit and had some input. And, a couple of the guys who were supposed to be on here, things fell apart. But, I mean, we got some good fighters on there. Like you said, unfortunately, you can have the best card in the world on paper. That doesn't mean it's going to be the best card. Yep. Just because it's great on paper. Sometimes it don't look great on paper. They can turn out to be the best card of the year. You never really know. The thing is about bare knuckle, we put on fantastic fights. people said before, it's hard to put on a bad fight. It just depends on the guy's mindset. I'm going to be out there. I'm going to be talking to these guys. I'm going to get in their ear. I'm going to tell them what I have been telling guys. Do not let this go to the judges, because just like we've talked about Ruben Warzai's fight, he felt like he won. The judge didn't give it to him. I'm going to say, you going to let that happen again? Are you going to let that? Are you going to try and dominate a fight and lose? If so, that's on you. You better go out there and try to finish everybody. And if not, that's on you.
So Chris in the chat is saying very, very rarely a dull fight, let alone a dull card in the UFC. That's the appeal. I agree. That's why I always say about the prelims. I feel like I say it all the time. I'll say it one more time. A lot of times boxing, UFC, maybe you're having a couple of drinks, eating pizza with your friends, bullshitting, and then you kind of half watch prelims. Bare knuckle, you have to watch every fight because every fight's awesome. It has the potential to be awesome, I should say. You don't know which one's going to be. So I agree with Chris in the chat. Here's Little Ben in the chat. He wants to know from you, Chris, who on the card shines out the most to you from people you've seen at tryouts? Is there anybody you're thinking about on the card that you're really looking forward to seeing? Maybe you met at tryouts or something?
There's a lot of guys out there. One guy I've been pretty excited about, Rodney Thomas. He keeps hitting me up. He's been wanting to fight on there for a long time, and just guys extremely strong and a heavy hitter. So I'm looking for people who can come with some knockouts. I think Rodney might be that guy. But I mean, Fernando's fought for us before. He's tough as nails too. So that's a very tough fight. That's going to be very interesting. There's just a lot of tough guys on this card, man. I mean, I don't think that's something that people don't really understand. There should be some wars. I think there should be a lot of people getting cuts and teeth knocked out. Who knows what's going to happen? But Rodney's coming to punch. He's been on me ever since the tryout. He's been texting me, doing whatever. Hit me up on Facebook. I mean, he's hungry. Really wants it. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, that kind of hunger. I mean, you have somebody that's working that hard to get on a card. How hard are they working in the gym to impress you, to up their game? So. Yeah, I'm looking forward to hearing you and Sean on commentary kind of run us through. As I say all the time, we're looking for new blood, and maybe we find some new blood on this card. That'll be cool to see. Other than this card, unless you have anything else you want to cover on this card, Chris, anything else you want to talk about?
Man, I mean, there's just, like I've already said, so many good cards. Let's move on. We got a lot to cover. Brian. Come on,
bro. I know. August, it just starts kicking off like crazy. The one after this, we're going to be in Sturgis, which we're expecting record crowd. I mean, the biggest crowd we ever had, because we're in Sturgis. The bikers, they're going to love us. You got the main event I'm looking forward to. Britton Hart, champion, taking on challenger Taylor Killer B. Starling. That's a fight fans have wanted. That's a fight I think if you're not a fan, you're a biker coming to watch, you're going to love. They're going to go at it. I'm excited for that fight. I'm sure you are too.
Man, I mean, when I looked at, we're so smart sometimes as a company. When I look at what we did, we're going to Sturgis. Who they put on the front cover? They got these two, let's be honest, very attractive women, tattooed up a little bit. So boom, two hot girls. Why would you not do that? And then every other person I see, there's like a heavyweight with tattoos all over their body. I'm like, man, we really hit our target audience right here. I know we got Joe Riggs fighting. We just got a ton of really high level fights. I can't believe how good this card is going to be. I mean, every fight on there, to me, I'm just like, man, I mean, how are we even afford this one? I mean, Joe Riggs is phenomenal. Look at it. You got Watson back out there.
Josh, hold on. Josh Watson. Wait a minute. Josh Watson coming back. I'm looking forward to see what he has to offer because it's been a while since we've seen Josh. So he's a guy. I think he was supposed to fight. Was it Ben Rothwell? Maybe.
Yeah. Because I mean, but he had just got done knocking out.
Hardy, right?
NFL, Greg
Hardy,
So
knocked him out, and I think someone has it. I don't know. Someone caught a piece of Hardy's hair or something. One of his dreads got ripped off in that fight too.
Wow. I mean, you also have Josh Dyer on there. He's just been lost in the mix. He's so good. That guy's been unbelievable. I mean, let's not forget he beat Jared Warren, and he was beating him the second time they fought. So I mean, this guy, he's right up there in the mix. Already, I mean, just nothing but really good fights on this card. I mean, I can't get over it, I mean, Eric Lozano's getting ready to fight again.
Lozano's going to be great. Oh, I didn't realize on the prelims of the Sturgis card, I don't know if you already said it. I totally, how could I forget Zach Kalmas? He's going to be on there. I mean, that guy.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Look at how smart we are. Who doesn't want to watch that fight? I mean, you don't think these biker guys are going to, right from the beginning, this is going to set the tone, and it's going to be fireworks from the beginning to the end, because usually the first couple of fights of the night, if they're really good, it carries on. The fighters feel that energy. They want to please people. They want to go out there and put on wars. If it's kind of a lackluster performance, sometimes you have to get a guy's like, all right, I'm going to go in there and change this. Or they can just kind of That can just be the vibe, that fight. You don't want that. We usually don't have that. But, I mean, whoever's in the prelims, that really gets us going in the right direction, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. I agree 100%. They start the show off hot, and, Zach's always going to be a crazy great fight. So that's going to be electric atmosphere. All of it's going to be amazing. Like I said, we look forward to all of it. Other than that, I mean, if you go through other fights, I also want to mention, I think you did, and we talked about it before you came on, I am excited to see the return of the man that broke the punch machine, Sam Shoemaker, in his rematch with Josh Burns. Josh Burns, another guy returning who kind of left for a while. He's back. Let's see if he's lost a step. If I know Josh has been training hard as ever for his comeback. He's been loyal to BKFC since day one, even when he was other places. He wanted to get back here. So we're excited to have him back, and I want to see that rematch because I wonder if it goes differently than it did last time. And if you missed it last time, it was Sam losing, and it was fairly swiftly. I wonder if Sam comes back a little harder this time.
Well, I mean, Burns has power. My first bare knuckle fight was in England. He was on the card. I've seen this guy fight a lot. Very powerful individual. If he hits you, he's going to hurt you. So Sam's going to have to be smart, learn from that first fight, and just a lot more movement. Don't stand in front of this guy, land punches, and stick and move. If he can do that, it'll be a different fight.
Yeah, it's going to be fun to see if there's any adjustments that have been made, and if he's able to. I shouldn't say if they've been made. They may have been made, but maybe during the fight he can't make them. Maybe he can. We'll see what happens. That's seriously, that's the story for me to that fight. I'm looking forward to seeing both those OGs come back too, man. Both guys I'd like to kind of talk to too, so it'll be great to see them at the fight. Other than that, I want to get into some other stuff, and we got plenty of time to talk about other fights as time rolls on. I mean, we can look at all the cards we have. Coventry is going to be great. I'm looking forward to that. I think that's August 10th, if I can remember. I'm trying to do this by memory. We just have such a jam-packed August. Then the 16th, we're in, is that Kansas City?
Kansas City, baby.
Yeah, Kansas City. That'll be great, man. And then I don't remember the whole schedule off the top of my head, but you can look at it.
Then we're back to Edmonton.
Is it Edmonton's 31st? There it is. Thank you. Edmonton's the 31st. We'll re-announce a main event for that we messed up on a couple weeks ago. I know Tierney Graham's going to be great, by the way. I know I talked about Coventry already, but dude, look at these fights. For anyone's like, hey, why aren't you guys doing fights that much in July? Well, look at August and into September. I mean, we are cooking. We're like every weekend. It's going to be great. I can't wait for it. And then after, of course, we're just ending the show, but it's cool, dude. Now Salt Lake City, and then we return to Hollywood September 13th. Look at the number of fights we have coming up. So take a deep breath and get ready, because strap in. August and September and everything else after is going to be very busy, and you're going to have something to do every Friday and every Saturday with BKFC. Hey, before you get out of here, Chris, we'd like to get to know Lidle. And I'd like to ask you some questions. We like to do that. So
let's go. What do you got for me?
The first thing is, I never showed this to you, and it bothers me. I don't think we talked about it. I had them use it at the top of the show, but a couple weeks ago, you told us one of your most embarrassing moments was when you were getting out of the shower. And we don't need to talk about it again, but it was something about having a clean piece, a clean rooster. So we made this. Did you see the graphic that we made a couple weeks ago for you? See how you're cleaning it to make sure it's nice and clean. And if you're missing what
we're played, guys, I like it. Thank you.
I forgot to show you that. And if you're missing what we're talking about, you don't get the graphic, you don't get the joke, or don't know. Go back. What was it, like 3 shows ago? I don't know, but go back. Go back to the one with that graphic, the one before, the week before. You'll understand what it means. So that was Chris's most embarrassing moment. It's one of my favorite stories ever told on the show. Now we want to find out your biggest fear. What is Chris Lidle's biggest? You're a fighter. People wouldn't think you have fears, but you're a human. What's your biggest fear?
My biggest fear? Probably just, letting down my family, man. Letting down. I'm the person who's there to provide for everybody, take care of everybody. If I did something to ruin that, if I come out there and ruin my career and I can't support people, man, I see why there's people who tend to be in that situation, become alcoholics and drug addicts, and I can understand that. I'm not one to feel that feeling, because I would feel like a complete failure in life, and that would be my biggest fear, is to let everybody down who depends on me. I can't have that happen.
Yeah, that's a great fear to have. I mean, that'll make sure you don't do it. The fear is actually a good thing there. You know what I mean? I feel like that's one of the lowest things a man can do, or anybody can do, is let down their family. That's like, you can't do it. So great fear to have. Speaks what kind of person you are. Let's talk about from fear to accomplishments. Now, you've done a lot. You've done a lot in fighting. You've done a lot in your personal life. You have your own bourbon. You have all these cool accomplishments. But what do you think if you had to say what's your coolest accomplishment? Before you answer, I want to let people know in the chat if they have a question for Chris, I can't speak. Rewind. Sorry. If they have a question for Chris Lidle, drop it in the chat and I'll try to work it in. But for right now, your biggest accomplishment. What's your biggest accomplishment?
Well, like as a fighter, I would say I feel like as a fighter, I feel like I fought almost 100 times, some of the toughest guys in the world, and being able to go out there and really never be able to be like in a competition like that, MMA fight or live fight, never be able to be knocked out or anything. I find a lot of pride in that. Just I always felt like the way I looked at this thing, Brian, was if this was a real fight, if we're fighting just me and you to the death, whoever wins, I always felt like I'm never losing. You know, no matter what, I'm still walking out there. You may be beating me by holding me down or whatever, but you know, you may have a cut and I might be bleeding, but if this were to the death, I don't think I'll ever lose. I think I'm undefeated. I never quit. I never stop going until the referee or whatever, until they stop it because of the scorecards or whatever. But I don't care. I think if it goes longer, I got more heart, determination, and will. I think I'd be still alive and everybody else would be dead. So I take a lot of pride in it.
I appreciate you using me as an example and saying that even if I took you down, I don't know if that would ever happen. I saw sometimes at these events, these people don't realize that I'm going to peel back the curtain. You bring pads, you bring gloves, you spar. We'll be at the hotel. I'll be walking in from eating lunch or something. I just see Lidle going at it with somebody else. I've seen you spar. I think were you sparring with everybody? There's fighters you spar with. Do you spar with fans? It's insane. You're just outside in the heat. You just spar with people. You crush them.
I got problems. I don't crush people though. I try and be very gentle with people people who aren't real pros. I'm going to go super light with everybody, man. I mean, I'm not there. I'm not there to hurt anybody. Even if you're a pro, I just like to. I love sparring. I love going in there, touching, playing, moving around. Just I don't mind getting hit a little bit. I just don't want to get hit, take hard shots anymore. I'm too old for that.
I think it's insane that a couple months ago, you and Sean Wheelock were talking about bringing mats to roll when you had free time there. And then somehow that went to sparring. And then I guess the mats are coming at another time. All I know is I'll be a spectator. I'll watch. Maybe I'll shoot it for the show. But other than that, I'm not getting involved. Whether it's jokingly sparring or not, I'm not getting hit by lights out Chris Lidle. It won't happen.
Yeah, you are. It's going to happen. Don't worry.
Maybe I'll let you have one good shot on me, and that could be a good thing.
Well, I mean, why can't you hit me? I mean, you can throw punches at me. I'll move, head movement.
But I did pro wrestling for a lot of years. So if I go to hit you, I'm going to pull the punch on purpose. It's just what I do. So it's not even I'm not going to hit you.
Even better.
All right. And then the other one we have for you, if you could eliminate one thing from your daily life, your daily routine, something you don't enjoy, what would that be?
Geez, man. The pathetic thing is I only do stuff I want anymore. My life is good. Only thing, I don't do anything I don't want to do, man. I don't see. Last time I had a surgery, I let my hair grow out a little bit because I was like, I haven't had hair in forever. I mean, I can grow hair. I just don't like to. So really? I let it grow out a little bit. And then I was like, what? You got to wash it every day and comb it? Now I cut it. So if I had hair, I'd be taking care of my hair, but I don't really have hair anymore. So everything I don't like, I get rid of, man. I don't do anything I don't like to do, man. I'm pathetic. I'm just a big kid. I'm like a child. And if I don't like to do it, I've even gotten used to working, hard work, working, jogging, running. I don't like doing that stuff, but I like it because I know what it does for me. So I like everything I do.
Wow, there you go. Great answer. I kind of figured you'd say something like that, knowing you. Let's see. Let's go to the chat here before we let you go. See if anyone's got anything for you. I can tell you this. He doesn't fear Sean Strickland. Somebody said, Sergio wants to know, what's your favorite fight you've ever had?
Oh, my favorite fight is probably a fight nobody's ever seen. Well, not nobody, but most people have never seen. It was a boxing match I had versus a guy named Omar Pittman. He was a good prospect from Philadelphia, and he was the main guy. I was the TBA next to your name, to be announced, and they brought me in last minute, and I fought this dude, and he was tough, man. He knocked me down in the second round and got this cut on my head where we bumped heads, and it was bleeding pretty good, and They about stopped the fight, and I just grinded it out and knocked him out in the seventh round, man. So that was a fun just because it was a real test. I like fights where you get tested, you get hurt. Like I always talk about from when me and Wheelock are doing commentary, my favorite is when somebody gets dropped and gets up and wins. Get up off the canvas to win. That proves more than anything to me. And I've had that happen. So when I had to dig down deep and just out tough the guy, he was a better boxer than me. I was just tougher than him. So that was one of my favorite fights when you can almost see just, you taking their will. I just was in his face and taking every shot he took. He threw at me and, kept working his body, and I just broke him. I don't know if you noticed this at the end of Kai Stewart's last fight. I'm going to break you. I'm going to break you. And he ended up breaking him. And I understand why he likes that. That's the most satisfying feeling in the world as a fighter.
Kai Stewart's in the chat. I'm sure he's listening to what you're saying. Andrew Toppin says that Chris will spar everyone. Chris is a really good sparring partner. Kai's saying, how good is that cardio, Lidle? And then here's another question from Calvin. Calvin Cunningham says, was there ever an opponent that you wish that you had an opportunity to fight while you were active, be it MMA or in BKFC, that you never got?
Yeah, George St. Pierre, I remember when he was on that reality show, I worked out with him and trained with him, and I thought that had been a really good fight. I love George. He's a super nice guy, but, man, I just felt like the matchup was good. I always wanted to fight him.
All right, let's see. Last one for you. What was your favorite? This is good. I don't know if we ever asked this one. Growing up, if you watch TV, what was your favorite TV show to watch?
Yeah, man, when I was a kid, The Incredible Hulk.
Yeah.
I watched The Incredible Hulk, man. I had my mom, take some little pants and, cut them up and all jagged like his so I'd wear them around. I wanted to be big and strong. I was a little tiny, skinny kid, but I always wanted to be big and strong. The Incredible Hulk was my favorite show.
Don't make me angry, right? You won't like
Lou
it, man.
Ferrigno with Lou and then I was at a fight once and I met Lou Ferrigno. I was like, oh my God, he's a
cool?
big guy.
Cool
my
guy?
God, he's a monster. But I met him. He was cool.
Good. That's even better when you like, whoa, where did that come from? It's like
he wasn't green, but he was there. Yeah, he was at one of the WEC fights. I talked to him afterwards.
Oh, that's awesome.
The nice guy. Yeah.
All right. Well, Chris Lights Out Lidle, thanks for coming on today. I can assume that when we make it to California on the fight, if you tune in on the BKFC app, available at bkfc.com, Chris Lidle will probably be doing commentary in a tattered, ripped-up suit painted all green. What do you think, Chris?
I'm in. Oh, do we have a Halloween fight? I'll do the Halloween fight. I don't know. You better talk to Dave. I don't know if Dave will like that.
I think.
What's wrong with you, man?
Dude, I think it'll help the product. I think it'll be a spectacle. I think you should you should surprise him and he'll thank you for it. That's what I think we should be doing here.
The no shirt, all painted green. I don't know. Here's what I want to know. When we go to Sturgis, are we going to be, hopefully I'm wearing a biker outfit. We all are. Hopefully t-shirt.
You're going to wear, you're going to get out. You're going to be, stop.
We got to dress the role when we're there.
You're going to be in assless chaps. They already told me what you're going to be wearing. They said that. So, they said, let them.
Hey, I don't want to be in any of you guys' sick fantasies. Whatever you guys are dreaming of, that's not happening. I have standards.
All right. Well, look, on the way, I'll hit you with a compliment. Here's Tony Loco Soto, who's coming up to fight for us soon. We're looking forward to that. In Spain, I believe. Chris is always in the gym, whatever hotel we're at. I agree. Chris is always in the gym, always. So, the fighters love you, man. They're going nuts for you. So the fans, make sure you hit that love button, whether you're watching on Instagram or wherever you're watching. Maybe you're on YouTube. That's where I can see the comments right now. Hit that love button for Chris Lights Out Loud because we do love him. The Incredible Hawk himself, Gumby. You like all guys that are green? Gumby, the Incredible Hawk, and Kermit the Frog too? The trifecta?
Sure, why not? I'm a Kermit the Frog fan. But, man, Brian, real quick, I love about our fighters, man. They're just they remind me of me back in the year 2000, just trying to make this sport go and just trying to make it blow up. And they're hungry and they're ready to take on the world. I identify with that. That's why I see a little bit of me in all of them. That's why I love hanging out with them. They're just they're me 20 years ago, 30 years ago. Hell, I don't know.
Yeah, you had mentioned that to me privately before too, how much these guys remind you and a young you in the UFC and stuff. It is cool to watch that and watch the company grow. All right, next time you come on, I'll have a Kermit the Frog sound clip for you. Kermit the Frog here. But for now, Chris Lights Out Lidle. We'll see you soon. Kermit the Frog here. I can't do it. I'm on camera. It looks weird. I can do Ernie. I can do Tomater too. Tomater, like tomato. Tomater. He's from Cars.
He's not green.
He's brown. He's brown because he's the shit.
Rusty.
All right. Yeah. They're waving me off here. Right. Chris Lidle, we love you, buddy.
See you. Thank you.
Bye. Well, that was fun. I never know what Chris Lidle for president. That's what Rodney's saying in the chat. I agree. Chris probably be a great president. All right. Let's look at where we're at now. Chris Lidle, always fun to chat with. Oh, Brian Duran. I see Kai Stewart in the chat. Recently victorious over Brian Duran. And Brian Duran, a guy that blew out his shoulder enough to need surgery in that fight. And I was checking in with him. We saw some pictures. We've seen him getting ready to go into surgery. I believe we have a video of that, too, we can check really quick as he's getting ready.
So your favorite lunch lady is going into surgery. You guys pray for me, man. See you on the other side.
My God, see on the other side's like you're going to die. You don't say that. If I saw that live, I would have been nervous. I do like the lunch lady comment, though. I think that's pretty funny. I was talking recently to Brian. I wanted to check and see how he's doing, see how surgery went. He said that, I actually wrote it down so I won't forget, he can't wait to be 1,000% to get back in there and fighting. He got through surgery, and now he's dying to start therapy soon so he can recover and get back in that ring. He said it's a painful process, but he's just glad that he's been able to fix and get back in there. He cannot wait to be back at like 1,000%. I was actually just talking to him before we went on the air, and he sent me a message, DM, telling me that he was at the doctor's office right now. So speedy recovery, man. We're glad surgery went well. An update on Brian Duran. We'll keep you updated from here on out about him. Someone else I want to talk about while we have a couple minutes. Taylor Starling, Britain Hart and Taylor Starling. Britain Hart champion, Taylor Starling. Big fight coming up in Sturgis. Taylor doesn't seem to care about her haters, especially the ones that bring up the loss to Christine Ferrer from a year ago. She told us that she learned so much from that loss. Instead of just being pissed off that Christine beat my ass, I use this as an opportunity to pick her brain and really learn how a champion operates and what I need to do to become a world champion. I'm a completely different fighter today than I was then, inside and out. She also said if the current version of myself fought that version of myself, I'd knock her out too. So there you go. Taylor Starling, a new mindset. She also said that Britain's fought some of the best in the game. She gave Britain her flowers, as people like to say. But at 115 pounds, she hasn't really fought anyone that's going to take it to her like I'm going to take it to her. That's exactly what I'm going to do. Again, a fight we're all excited about. We'll have more on that coming up. Another fighter I'm excited about to see his new kind of way of looking at himself, much like Taylor, Elvin Brito. El Bandito, Elvin Brito. He's got the Gypsy Jake Lindsay coming up August 16th, BKFC Fight Night, Kansas City. Of course, he was the inaugural BKFC welterweight champion of the world. I think it was like 2022. And the belt, I guess it's changed hands a few times since then. Right now, undefeated, Austin Trout sitting at the top. And if you look at Brito and Lindsay, they're meeting in the main event. But there was a 40, if you look at, you got to look at Elvin, 40-second stoppage over a previously unbeaten Jafar Knox. Like, that's huge. And I saw a different person in that fight. I think we all did. Now, I've mentioned this before, but every time we talk to Elvin, he talks about this anger he has to unleash. He said there's more of it. He said that we ain't seen nothing yet about his angry fighting style, kind of a new fighting style. He said Jake is big, athletic, and strong dude who's hard-hitting and dangerous. I'd say Jafar is more technical than him, but Jake has been fighting for a long time, so he's weathered because he's been tested. Elvin also told us that he's got a lot of heart. I'm talking about Jake. And he shows that in every fight. After he beats Jake, it's going to be obvious that the best matchup for me is the title versus Trout. Then I thought it was interesting because he wisely paused after he said that. And he said, but one fight at a time, Jake Lindsay is who's in front of me now. And you're watching him and Jafar right now. You can see Elvin. He's trying to prove something. He's trying to get back in the title picture. As I said about Ruben Ward trying to prove something this weekend or fighting for something. Sometimes you think you're fighting for something, but you're kind of doing it. Look at this. There's anger in those points. Look at him. He's pumped. And I believe he went nuts after this outside the ring when I was talking to him. So we'll see what Elvin's going to do. Elvin Brito, El Bandito, trying to get back, continue the winning track, I should say, and go back to the world title against Austin Trout. But we'll see what he does against Jake Lindsay. Wish him a lot of luck. He's a BKFC OG. Look at him. You can see he's pumped after a big knockout there. We'll see where it heads next for Elvin El Bandito Brito. I know he trains with some of the best, and see what else we have. Okay. I also want to talk about some other stuff that people, including an announcement that we promised at the top of the show. We'll get to that in a couple minutes, but there's something else I've been seeing people talking about. I want to see if anyone there knows. I know very little about it, but I want to at least mention it. Sorry, I needed some coffee, some Savage Sip. But I saw this on TMZ the other day. Did you see this? TMZ. Coverage on TMZ about Bam from Jackass, Bam Margera in talks to join the BKFC broadcasting team, apparently. And he talked about a possible fight he'd like to do bare knuckle with Johnny Knoxville. I don't know if that's going to happen. I mean, I don't know. I mean, this is being talked about on TMZ, so at least we're getting bare knuckle fighting championship out there. Let me know in the chat, how do you feel? How do you feel about Bam Margera from Jackass, Viva La Bam, all that stuff, CKY from Old Heads, being involved with BKFC to join the broadcasting team? I don't think it would be all the time. I think it would be once in a while, or maybe a one-off. I don't know anything about it. I've been on vacation for a week. I come back to all this. I got to dig after the show and find out. I will say this. A lot of you might not know this, but where our office is, this kind of makes sense. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm saying it kind of makes sense to me because where our office is, this meeting could have taken place. Not only was he at our last fight, Bam, But we're, what did you say, 5-10 miles from where he lives in Westchester, Pennsylvania? Our office is right outside of Philly. So I used to be at the mall, and I would just see Bam walk by. He's always around. I'd been to his house to party at his pirate house before when I was younger. It was awesome. But we'll see. I mean, the meeting could have happened either at Hollywood when he was there, or it could have happened here. I'm going to dig and find out more about that. Last time I saw Bam, he was getting jumped. That's what Josh says. Johnny Knoxville went rounds with Butterbean and Jackass 1. Ambidextrous says, our broadcast team is the best in the world, and we don't need anyone or anything else, period. That's what Little Ben says. I do agree with that, but I do think that if Bam comes in for a one-off, I don't know if it will be like an influencer fight. I don't know if it'll be a real fight, to commentate it, or maybe just to do like a couple celebrity interviews as like a celebrity guest announcer. I mean, we could do that once. I wouldn't hate that. This is what happens as we grow the company. But I know nothing more than that. If you know more, please let me know. Again, I'm going to go try to bother Dave after this and find out what's going on here. The other thing I want to get into is I want to re-announce Canada, Edmonton. Welterweight warfare in the main event for Edmonton. There you go. You got Drew Wild Boy Stuvie versus Sonny the Savage Smith. Both men have fought for us in Canada the last time we were there, and Stuvie looks to have had a couple other bare knuckle fights outside of BKFC. So looking forward to seeing what's going to happen here. Who's going to come out on top? But that's going to be the main event for Edmonton. And now what I'd like to do is talk about the big announcement for it's Salt Lake City. Salt Lake City, of course, BKFC 65. That is September 6th. Salt Lake City, BKFC 65. There you go. I was waiting for that. September 6th. We have a world title main event announcement. It's a fight that I know you've been waiting for, and I have as well. One of the women's the toughest to get a fight for in the organization. Nobody wants to fight her. The champ, Christine Misfit Faria, will be taking on Jade Masamwang. That's BKFC 65, Salt Lake City, September 6th. See champ Christine Misfit Faria taking on Jade Masamwang. That's a fight we talked about a couple weeks ago on the show that you were very excited about. I'm very excited about it as well. I'm glad they made it happen. Again, that'll be in Salt Lake City, BKFC 65, the Misfit versus Jade Masamwang. Evan, thoughts on that fight?
Love it. Great fight.
Me too. Were you here when we were talking about that a couple weeks ago or no? Was this the one you missed? We were just saying, I know Brandon was here, but I think you were too, but we were just saying the fight to make for Faria, we'd want to see Jade.
Yeah.
We talked about Vincennes, but
Jade makes sense.
I think she's number one ranked too.
Yeah. Good fight.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. And Jade's not going to be someone that's just going to, Christine's going to just run over. Jade's tough. So looking forward to that fight. I appreciate you hanging out for that announcement. I was excited to bring it to you. The chat, it takes a minute because they're a little bit behind us, but the chat is saying now that, let's see, Jade versus Misfit. Billboard Notes is excited. Dang, we are good at this. They're guessing. Might have to go to the SLC, Salt Lake City show now. Wesley Kill Eagle saying, Billboard Nerds is like the emojis with the mind exploding. Let's see. Scott says he loves the fight. There you go. Josh must be new. He said, sounds Asian. Masamwang. I guess it kind of does. It's a cool name to say.
I think she is. I think she's got some. I think her dad's Asian or something.
I don't know. Jade Masamwang. I was thinking about that last night when we were looking at this fight. Like if her name was just Jade Masam, I'd be weird with that. I like Jade Masamwang. It rolls off your tongue. LFG. We know what that means. That's from the Knuckle cult. Everyone's excited. There's not one bad thing in this chat about this fight.
How do you think it goes? Let's get predictions. Brian, you first.
Well, I have to look at. I can't predict yet. I got to look at both women in the eyes. I got to look at what they're saying in the interviews. I have to look at their training regimen. I have to get in there and speak to their managers. I have to talk to the matchmaker. There's a lot that I have to do here to give you a good an opinion. But looking at it right now, I mean, I'm not really allowed to make predictions, I don't think. No. But I'll say this right now.
It.
Oh, yeah, that's going to save me from getting fired. I think I'd say this. Jade is tough. We say it all the time. Jade loves a fight. She loves it. Christine's tough. She loves a fight too. Christine has been unable to get an opponent for a while, and that's for a reason. That's for a reason. The fact that Jade stepped up and took this fight after other fights have fallen off and other people have kind of backed off after they've taken fights or just we've been unable to find one. The fact that Jade stepped up and took this fight, that says a lot to me. That says mentally she's ready. Jade's not the kind of woman, I don't think, from what I've seen, that's just looking for a payday. I mean, it's nice to get one, But I think the fact that Jad stepped up to this fight tells a lot.
I think we're going to see...
It's going to be a great fight.
Just like back at BKFC 7 when you had Helen Peralta versus Faria. I think it's going to be shades of that because...
Really?
If Jad... Because she was, her only stoppage was a cut to Vicens. So if she can avoid getting cut like that again, and she's not going to get knocked out, Faria's not going to get knocked out, I think it's going to be a 5-round just drag-out war. That's how I see it going. And I don't know if... I forget, does Salt Lake allow a 6-round? It may come down to that, but I think this is going to be bloody. It's going to be vivacious.
Vivacious. Good word, dude.
I think that's the right word.
Vivacious or vivacious?
I don't know.
Well, regardless. Look it up in the chat.
There's a word.
I think it's vivacious.
It'll come to me. But anyway, it's going to be a great fight. That's my 2 cents.
So I'm looking at the chat now. Tony Locos.
Hellacious, not vivacious.
Oh, hellacious. Okay.
Hellacious.
Hellacious. That's not even close.
Vivacious may mean something else.
Vivacious means like, I think hot. Like you say.
That too.
I don't know. I'm just thinking of top of my head. I think if I was on the mic and I'm like, ladies and gentlemen, it's the vivacious bare knuckle bombshells.
It may not even be a word.
Vivacious is a word. I just
don't. Attractively, lively, and animated.
See, there you go.
That's good.
That's our bombshells.
It's vivacious. It's hellacious.
Yeah. And it's we'll come up with a tagline for it. Vivacious, hellacious. I'm writing that down. There's something else there too. In the chat, they're saying that Tony Loco Soto says I'm going for the winner. Okay, Little Ben saying talk to Jad's training partner Brian. LOL. Faria has been steamrolling the whole women's division. Don't think Jad can stop the momentum, Billboard Nerd says. Little Ben saying, I don't think Jad will be scared. I think Jad will bring a fight like Beck Rawlings. Tony Loco Soto, a good old-fashioned slobber knocker. Kyle Mish saying they need to get Rosalinda Rodriguez. More fights ASAP. Yeah, we'll work on that. It's not us, but good call. I'll tell Nate that. I got Faria in third or fourth round win, Dylan says. So it's going to be interesting as we go on and we show you more of these titans. That's what they are. I can't wait to see the fight. Yet another great main event announcement. So all of you that have been saying, what's going on? We're not having enough fights. Well, we're loading them up for you now. So get excited. It's a fight you've been asking for, and we always try to listen, and it's going to be a great fight.
Do you think this is the hard... wait, am I even on? I am. Do you think it's the hardest fight Faria's had in a while?
Yeah,
I think
100%.
Since BKFC 7, when she fought Peralta, I think this is her biggest challenge. Because Jad, I mean, you don't see a lot of women knocking each other out. And Jad, didn't Jad just get a KO over Rahman? Was that a KO?
TKO, I think.
Yeah, I think it was TKO was.
She's got power.
Jad does have power. And like I said, the fact that she is one of the women that accepted this with no thought, was like, oh, I don't know. She's like, yeah, let's go. That tells me mentally she's ready. She's not afraid. She's mentally ready. She's not going to run from the fight. She's not going to not show up. She's not. We've had all these things happen. Yeah. So Jad is ready to take the fight to Christina, is ready to take her title. I mean, what a feather in the cap of Jad if she can do that. But I don't know if she can yet. That's why this fight's so damn intriguing.
Christina always finds a way to just be dominant in every fight.
She's amazing.
So,
and I think everyone knows it. But the Peralta fight, I agree. This could be one of her toughest challenges. I'd have to look back at her record and who she fought. I can't remember everybody offhand. It's been a lot of fights. But if I think in my head, you're right. This is going to be awesome. I have no like analysis, like a professional sports guy, like Cyrus might came on and give you like an announce, or he'd probably give you some analysis, but I can't give you that. I'm a real dude. I'm just going to say to you, this is going to be awesome. I'm not paid to like, I guess, give you the stats and all, but I just think here's your stat. Tune in. It's going to be freaking awesome. You got Christine Faria on one side, champion, challenger, Jad Malsam Wang. It's going to be great. I can see Jad being the bully. Someone's saying, Lights Out MMA History Podcast is saying, Wesley Killeagle saying he thinks it'll be a doctor stoppage. Wow, a lot of opinions about this, man. A lot of people excited about it. Chris saying that Faria will only lose when it's that one fight. That doesn't make sense. Faria will only lose when it's that one fight too many, who knows when that's going to... Oh, when it's one fight too many, who knows when that's going to come. He's basically saying when she's going to be done fighting, that's when she's going to lose. Like when she retires. That would have been a better way to say it. But we're excited for it. Got a lot of great stuff coming up. I also want to spotlight, before we get to where we're going again, I'll plug that. I want to look at what we have coming up. I keep talking about all these shows. We mentioned it earlier. If you just tuned in, let's go through it real quick. We had 2 announcements. We have main events on those shows now. For Edmonton, of course, that's August 31st. And then we just talked about September 6th, BKFC 65 in Salt Lake City with that big announcement, Christine Faria versus Jade Masumwang for the title. But looking back, this week is a fight week, and I talked about it with Lidle. You've talked about it in the chat. We could see some young superstars emerge, and the storyline to me here is that Ruben War will fight for anything to get out of where he's at, better his life, help his children, and that's why he's fighting. He had told me, matter of fact, I think off the air, he doesn't even like fighting. He does it because that's what he's good at, and that's how he can earn money for his family. So it's not that I guess it's not that he hates fighting. It's just, it wasn't his choice. He's just so good at it that that's what he thought he could make money at. That's what he knows. So we'll see what Peralta can do. We'll see what War can do. It's going to be a big fight, and look for those other stars to emerge. That's this Friday, July 12th. Second time in California, BKFC.com. Grab the app. You can watch it there. And then from Temecula, we have a little bit of a break, but then we head to Sturgis. Been talking about Hart Sterling. Everyone excited about Hart Sterling, and there's so many other great fights on that card. Dyer's there. We have, I love D-Day. Can't wait to see him fight. We have Josh Burns and Sam Shoemaker making their comeback. I saw Zach Calamus on that card. That card's loaded. I'm sorry if I left you out, but BKFC.com. Check it out. Historically, that's going to be one of the biggest cards, if not the biggest card we've ever done. August 10th, Tierney versus Graham. That'll, of course, be in Coventry, UK. That'll be a fun fight. Looking forward to seeing Tierney come back. I've seen some stuff on social media. He looks to be in amazing shape. Then you have the Gypsy Jake Lindsay versus El Bandito Brito. Elvin Brito, we talked about that in Kansas City, August 16th for fight night. And that's at the historic Memorial Hall. That'll be a cool venue to be at. And Brito just is trying to steamroll through the competition so he can get Trout. So a motivated man there, but Lindsay is no slouch. We know that. We talked about Edmonton coming up August 31st with that new main event. Stuvie versus Smith. That'll be fun to see who emerges out of Edmonton. We love going up there to Canada. And then also, after that, we can look at September 6th. September 6th, Salt Lake City. We just talked about that. We just talked about the big main event announcement. I'll say it one more time in case you're just tuning in. The Misfit Christine Faria. That looks really cool. I like the way that graphic looks too. The Misfit Christine Faria, World Women's Flyweight Champion, taking on Jade Masumwang, BKFC 65, Salt Lake City, September 6th. The toughest fight. I'm going to go with you on that, Evan, because I was looking through her fights. You're right. I think it's the toughest fight for Faria since Peralta. I was just looking over her opponents, 100%. That'll be great. Looking forward to that. All this available, bkfc.com on the app, or you can always buy tickets and either go to it live, or if you're in town, there's nothing like seeing BKFC live. bkfc.com to get in. But for now, I appreciate it. Did we miss it? This might be the show where we've never missed anything. This might have worked out well today, right?
I think we're good.
I do too. If you can't be... Hey, Evan, you're coming to California definitely, right?
Yes.
And you get to drive 2 hours with me to take the red-eye home, don't you? We'll have some good stories from that one. I'm going to start drinking vodka early as soon as the show's over. What do you think?
Tickets are almost sold out, by the way.
Get them now.
I think a handful remain. If you're in the area, pick them up. Come see the show. It's going to be a good one.
What a plug. BKFC.com. Thank you, Evan. Yeah, right. Avoid the sellout. And this isn't bullshit where we're just saying so we can sell tickets. We were looking at the ticket map. It is going to sell out. BKFC.com. Get them. We will see you in Cali. We're going back to Cali. And I'll see you next week. Until then, get knucked up. That's my first time back. Get bucked up and knuckle up. Let's go!
The three-punch combination from Ruben War. Big right hand lands from Robbie Peralta. Coming now from focus right. Nostril and knockdown number 2. That was clean on the ring. Dive, good left hand from Peralta. That turns straight round. Wallace after the flurry circling out.